interesting. Alright, what's up, everyone? Tin Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. John Connor is out having a cigarette. So we've got Cursed Wolf and good old Grandmaster Evan. Grandmaster Evan, what is happening today in the world?
Huh?
Huh?
What is happening today in the world? Right now it's my birthday today. 42 today, and in today's moment we got issues with swatting.
We got hit with what?
We have an instance of swatting.
Oh yeah, swatting. I thought you said squatting. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Somebody has a lot of feedback somewhere.
I think it might be in Connor's house. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm thinking it might be Connor's. Because you know there ain't no feedback in my house. It's just me and my one bedroom because I'm isolated in here because it's fucking negative fucking freeze your fucking balls off in this fucking motherfucker right now.
Basically, Grandmaster showed us all a video about, he probably knows the technical names, about a father who got shot during, an innocent father who got shot during an incident of swatting. And where basically it's a feud during, this one particular was Call of Duty, where somebody called the cops on somebody else for an obscene reason to cause the SWAT team to actually show up and cause the life of an innocent father to not be here anymore.
Yeah.
Huh. See what happens when I spend the last 48 hours drunk off my ass? I miss shit. By the way,
And
show you guys how cold it is right now.
Nah.
I don't know if you can see it.
Add to insult to injury, the wager itself was a paltry sum of $1.50.
No shit.
The wager of the game was only $1.50.
Yeah. The victim's name was Andrew Finch, a 28-year-old resident of Wichita, Kansas, was killed on Thursday, December 28th, shortly after opening the door of his house and defying the entire SWAT team with weapons drawn on him, even though Finch was unarmed and complied with orders to put his hands up. And he allegedly moved his hands to his waist, and all of a sudden, immediately, officers shot him dead.
Okay, let me get this straight. He was on the ground, handcuffed, moved his hands, and they blew him away.
Yeah.
I thought he said the door opened and they said put up his hands and he moved them too quickly and he got shot.
It's in the Pontiac Tribune. I got it right here on here. It was also reported by Sputnik Media. Police were apparently responding to a call about a hostage situation in progress. The caller claimed that the resident owner had shot his father and holding his family hostage at gunpoint. The call, as it turned out to be, was a swatting prank with regards pranksters making a fraudulent call to emergency service in order to fix the SWAT team upon his victim.
Okay. So,
It's insane.
Proves that cops leap before they look whenever they should have took a fully swatted up armored person and knock on the door and say, we got a call, ...
Yeah.
Well, if in the event that SWAT was there, you know, if they had the guy in handcuffs, you know, you'd think they would have searched him by that point and determined, hey, this guy's unarmed. You know, it's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel at that point, you know, especially considering if you had already searched him. And that is protocol. You have to, once you have the assailant in cuffs, you search him to make sure there's no weapons or contraband.
Yeah.
That's your fucking job.
The guy that did the call was a 25-year-old named Tyler Barrett of South Carolina.
Wait, a 25-year-old did this?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, I thought this was some preteen shit, man. This was a fucking grown-ass man who did this shit? Oh, man.
This was according to ABC News.
Shit. And Connor, I'm sure you would agree with this, and laugh your ass off when I say this. I can understand why they drop bombs on us.
Mm-hmm. We are far from being civilized, unfortunately, if we take a very close attention to what we're thinking. Very close. If we pay very close attention, holy son of a bitch. We're just bad people.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So,
welcome back. How was your cigarette?
My cigarette was fucking delicious.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it myself. I will not lie, I miss it.
I'm proud of you, dude, though. You're doing good. You're my inspiration.
Hey, been quit smoking for a year?
Almost 1,000 people were killed in America this year alone.
How many people?
1,200. 1,200.
And that is, what is the statistic on that? Is that natural homicides, terrorist attacks, or police
tobacco death?
I don't know. The editors note an article strikes a chord with me. They have numerous of our affiliates in the Fifth Column Network. The issues it's far from over, and with almost 1,000 people killed across America this year alone, our message is to be heard loud and clear. The murder train will end by James Job.
That sounds serious.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, maybe. But not before our Twitter accounts do.
And they add the insult to injury, the wager itself was a paltry sum of $1.50.
Shit, they didn't even put a brown bill on that one. Oh, $100. Sorry, $100.
A book?
What? Is your guys' money colored yet?
The what?
Is your money colored yet in any way? Like,
it's green.
Nah, it's still green like freaking snot, bro.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, see, we still got the plastic monopoly money, man. So if you hear me say a brown bill, it means $100. Red bill is 50.
Yeah.
Green is 20. Purple is 10. 5 is blue.
Hey, it works.
It does. It's almost like a fucking rainbow. With a little bit of shit attached to it.
Did you know that was...
Rainbows!
I heard rainbows. I wasn't talking about
Mr. Giggles! Bro.
How you guys doing?
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Where's my $5 you owe me?
For what?
Uh-oh.
The $5 you owe me for that blow-up door I got you, man.
You promised not to tell!
Oh, shit, secret's out. Pay the man.
You and Mr. Bones wanted a blow-up doll cut in half. You wanted the head and tits, and Mr. Bones wanted the asshole and vagina, man. Hey, you guys owe me up big time, dude.
You promised not to tell.
You didn't even record this shit?
You promised not to tell.
Too late, bro. Pay up now, man.
All right, Mr. Giggles, we need your help, though. We need your help, Mr. Giggles.
What's up?
All right, we got people. You know, people. You're learning a lot, right? We got people they're learning too, and we don't know how they feel yet. But what's your opinion on the kids, Mr. Giggles?
Kids, they taste good with barbecue sauce.
That's what I thought, right? Like, I honestly thought that, right? Like, I didn't. We got people thinking that that their kids are safe with you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. There's people, Mr. Giggles. There's people that are letting little children watch you, and they laugh.
Might want to call CPS on those people.
You want to call? Mr. Giggles wants to call. Oh my goodness.
I think he needs to brush his teeth first because they're all green, man.
Yeah, you have to. They may not take you seriously. but Mr. Giggles, if I were to say like that you don't like people letting their kids watch you, would that be okay?
Uh, I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Well, no, like we all have
I'm
fun, and
all for weird shit in general, but if you're really dumb enough to let your kids watch me, you're a special kind of stupid.
well, that's what I'm thinking, right? It's not because you're not fun to have around, and we always want you on the table and having a good time with us and sharing your thoughts and stuff. But I honestly think that people have gone too far. Like they're looking for something that just isn't there, and it's important for them to understand that.
Yeah, I am not Bozo the Clown. Okay, I understand you want clowns to be funny, ha ha, make your kids laugh at the circus. I'm not that guy. Okay,
No, you're the
look
clown
at
that
me. I
drinks
am
the
a
beer with
scary
the
clown. There is a
resistance.
P word in there. Scary. If that
Scary.
is in any way unclear to you, people watching this, that you want to think that this is funny, look at my original introduction video. I took a bath with a radio. Okay, I ran into a
Yeah.
screen door. I played with
Is that
knives. I
something
hit birds with hammers. You
you
really
want
think
kids
I'm
to
a
do
role
that?
model for children?
Well, looks
Oh,
like you won
jeez,
the.
that is hilarious.
It looks
And
like you're
people say
winning
I'm
the
not
war,
smart.
apparently, Mr. Giggles.
Winning the war on insanity.
Yeah. But Mr. Giggles, man, I had to be sure, because if you wanted to help with the kids and stuff, like, man, nothing wrong with getting a puppy. I'll trust you with a puppy. But
Wait,
I don't know, man. People are asking
he
us
would trust me with a
to put
puppy?
kids in. I don't know. Like I was saying, man, they want us to put kids in front of you, and I don't know. I think
We
for
tried it.
for the
We legitimately tried it. It didn't work. Okay, it just doesn't go well. Little kids, this isn't their world. Okay, I'm not even going to tell you how old I am, but obviously I'm not a kid. But I'm in the quote adult range. This is still a fucked up world for me. I'm like, whoa, the world is a crazier place than I thought.
so
You
so
are
the
going to
resistance.
subject a child to this world. You are going to show them the hard truths of how sick and evil this world is. They're going to wind up more fucked up than me. And I spent
It's
15 years in
important.
a mental institution for a failed freaking Holocaust.
I told you the gas fucking bill was going to be too high.
Yeah, it didn't work out. When you try to turn an entire gym into a gas chamber, it just didn't work out. You
No,
need a little more
no.
of a confined space. And for those of
Well,
you who
yeah.
don't know, I tried to pull a Carrie, but I don't have telepathic capabilities, so yeah, it didn't go well, and I wound up in a straitjacket for 15 years.
You
In
tried to
case
pull
you
a
didn't
carry. I
know,
told you
I
to bring in a
hail from
detonator.
Bellevue Mental Institution. Yeah, I am not your role model for your children. Okay, stick them in front of Big Bird and Barney the dinosaur and the Teletubbies. You're good to go. You stick them with me, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you stick them with them. Mr. Giggles will find them when they're ready.
Yeah, there is a time and a place for everything, and for little kids, that time is not now. Okay? Let them
The only thing
realize
is
that
with
there is no
that.
Santa Claus first before you tell them that their government is corrupt and trying to kill them.
Yeah, you gotta let them. You gotta let them forget about Santa Claus, and then you gotta let them figure out where money came from, and then maybe Mr. Giggles might find them one day.
I'm going to be a cult leader.
So the truth here, the truth of the matter here, is that I, as John Connor, will make a promise to all viewers. Mr. Giggles will always be Mr. Giggles. There'll always be that fun video that you might think is okay for your kid. Everybody on the panel would suggest that you wouldn't because it's inappropriate. But I'll promise you this. Every time Mr. Giggles takes the mask off, children will never be safer in his presence. But for as long as that mask is on,
You're
it's a
fucked.
horrible fucking thought.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, guys.
Yeah, PG
we
PG rating, parental guidance.
we love all of you. We really, really, really do.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
like you
love
need to
that
put
you are
one of those
working
parental.
hard.
Remember when we had CDs and you had those parental advisory stickers on the CDs? Maybe we need to put one of those across my fucking head or something. Parental advisory,
Put
explicit
like
fucking content.
put a teeny one there, like about the size, like the two sizes of a stamp, right on your nose.
Parental advisory.
Or between the eyes.
Right. Well, see, if we start messing with the eyes between the eyes. Oh, there's a white spot there between the eyes. We can get away with. Yeah. I'm just thinking of the flames. I don't want to fuck with the flames, right?
No fuck with the flames. Like maybe right here, or like on the cheek or something.
Red
I don't know.
means
We'll figure something out. Because
We'll put it
apparently there are
together.
some people within our general
That
midst
really
who
need
think
that sticker.
me being a child role model is a good idea. And I think it's fucking hilarious. What part of I will beat your child with nunchucks is missed here?
Exactly. And like lather them up in honey and let the bears get to it. Like, I'm sorry, man, if your child's not behaving properly, our disciplinary tactics are really not appropriate. Like, look at what Mr. Giggles did to Tommy Bird when they tied him up. That's a horrible thing, man.
It was like popcorn.
It's okay. It was a little bit like popcorn. But
yeah,
the clown
into a chair, sticking an air compressor in his mouth. Light his nuts on fire. I'm a bad role model.
The clown is so insane. He's willing to put honey on his balls and let a bear lick him.
Yeah.
You promised not to tell, man. What's with you, man? You fucking tell him all my fucking secrets. He tells about the blood. He tells about the sex dolls. He tells about the bear licking my balls. What the fuck, man? Can't I trust you with anything?
It's like, and I'm supposed to give the nuclear launch codes to this guy?
Hey, I was close to that, damn it. You probably just ruined it.
Oh, shit. Well, you just keep working on
with my
Trump's football there, and we'll figure it out.
Man, you just totally fucked it up.
Apparently, Mr. Giggles does not know how to administer the appropriate tests required for serenity.
There was a test?
Oh, yeah, man.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
Oh! Read between the lines, motherfucker. Oh, man.
Oh, shit, I need to get out of this fucking mask. Later, guys.
So we're going to put... Later, we'll put this one to bed. Mr. Giggles is not child appropriate. TWWRN has officially stated that you have to be at least 11 years or older to observe anything from Mr. Giggles.
Yeah, you have to be this tall to ride.
You have to be this tall to ride. That's right.
Later, guys.
I would say more 15.
15? Yeah, I would side with that. I really would. The only reason why I'm not siding with it is because I live in a culture where we wish kids didn't have sex at a certain age, and yet here they are doing it 3 years before they ever thought they would. So to assume that the children wouldn't be intelligent enough to find us on YouTube, and at 11, we're going to land... It's a clown mask. It's bound to hit.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick up that mask at freaking Walmart for like $10.
Yeah.
It's insane. And unfortunately, kids are coming into their own at a younger and younger age, especially with the accessibility of the internet. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have internet. When I saw my first fucking porno mag when I was freaking 11 years old, man.
Oh, right now,
best day of my life.
I'm watching my friend here. He's raising his child up and getting ready to make him a YouTuber, and he's going to stand behind him and do all the right things and so on and so forth. And like, the kids, they have a different world right now. They're growing up in a different world. It's up to the parents to keep them on the straight and narrow there. I keep telling people the internet is nothing more than a large city. In some cities, there's just certain places you don't visit.
Yeah.
You don't belong there. Don't fucking go there. Every city.
You don't go where there ain't no cyber buses running.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't send your kids to the strip club for daycare.
You know what? I'm so using that one. Hey, Tiff, I just heard an expression that's awesome. You don't send your kids to a strip club for daycare. I like that one. I liked it so much I shared it in real life.
That's awesome, man. Just the shit that pops off my head at random. But it is true. You know, a lot of people think
There would be a guy at the table throwing out $100 bills and saying, "Who's your creepy uncle now?"
Yep.
It's like, Mom, I didn't know you worked here.
Oh, dude, like I had this. I'm 30. I'm gonna be 35 in February. Okay. I met this guy who thought he was a pimp at like 21 years old, and literally most of his women were under the age of 15.
Wow.
And you know what the worst part was? Is that all you had to do was give the guy money. And I just looked at him and I was like, you kind of have to stop doing this in my city. I can't allow that.
Yeah.
He was like, well, why? It's just money. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I was looking at some of the girls and I was like, you don't get that some of these girls are daughters to people that I've rolled with. You know what I mean? Like, no, man, can't be done. Anyway, it's getting stupid. What parents are doing and what parents aren't doing, it's getting out of control.
And
But Tim, man, can you side with the statement I made there? I know Mr. Giggles took over there for a bit, and we had to shoot shit for a little bit. But would you side with the statement there that when Mr. Giggles is Mr. Giggles, that children, man, not a big idea.
It's not good. I mean, a scary clown is a scary clown, and you know, little kids, they're not going to associate that with a fun character like Bozo the Clown or the clown you see at the circus. It doesn't correlate. You know, like Mr. Giggles said, scary clown. You know, is the key word here. You're talking about shit like Clown Purge, Pennywise the Clown, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is the kind of shit that Mr. Giggles represents. That is the type of ideology.
And honestly, the litmus test here, if your child is laughing at Mr. Giggles, you gotta get your child checked.
Yeah, and including some of the things that Mr. Giggles has done. I mean, he has physically tortured Tommy Bird. He has lit him on fire. He went and stalked Rainbow Snatch from across the country.
And that bear licking his balls.
Yeah, the bear licking his balls. I didn't even know about that, man. This is something new. Well, question on letting this guy live in my house or even in my head. But, you know what kind of shit happens when he takes over my body? Where's my fucking penis been?
Yeah. I can't pay for a comment like that. That was perfect.
I try, dude. I try.
All right, so Curtis, how traumatized are you on a scale from 1 to 10?
He's probably like, these are not the people.
Give Curtis the floor. He's been polite.
These are not the droids he was looking for.
He's just sitting there going like, "Fuck all y'all. I'm gonna smoke a joint. I'll be back."
It will be that he's so quiet. Cursed, are you even there, bro? No, he's gone.
He left.
He left. He's like, "Fuck this. This is even too weird even for me."
Oh man.
See if I can bring him.
See, and they all want to be tested by me.
They all do, and they got to expect to be tested by you. Otherwise, you know, they're just fooling themselves if they think that they're going to be, you know, just let into the club without a test. Still, even Kitty has to do her video on a roof.
Yep. Oh man, I'm getting ready to do mine. I'm just waiting for the It's not. My video's not on the roof, bro.
Yeah.
My video's on a mountain.
All right. I was sitting here trying to speak.
Oh, it wasn't working out for you.
Yeah, exactly. I was sitting here saying all kinds of stuff like, do you not realize that Tin Man used to keep Mr. Giggles in a cage? Do you not realize that Mr. Giggles runs into the oven because it is warm? Do you not realize that the only reason why Mr. Giggles is allowed out of his cage now when Tin Man is not around is because Tin Man went and found Mr. Funny Bones. Because Mr. Giggles needs a chaperone no matter what, no matter in any instant. This is why he used to be in a cage, as I pointed out.
Yeah, well, occasionally you gotta let the poor bastard out, especially at 13 degrees Fahrenheit.
Exactly.
I should see it. Yeah,
Exactly.
I can't get it to display right, but it says 13 degrees Fahrenheit feels like 2 degrees.
Sorry, if I don't talk.
I just wonder how long my microphone was muted was the other problem.
I don't know, but we managed. We managed.
I was sitting here the entire time listening.
And probably laughing your ass off.
Exactly, because I was waiting, trying to speak, and it was like nobody was hearing me, but I was like, okay, everybody's talking at the same time, though, still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets hard sometimes, man. And we've been doing it for years, and even we fuck up along the lines when we don't let each other talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out the audio for this fucking thing. I mean, sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. It's just, it is a major pain in the ass with this fucking live stream thing. It's very complicated. And Connor, go ahead and move your camera down because your forehead is very shiny.
I'm rolling a joint. I need
Okay,
herbal incentive.
So where are we rolling to now with the topic?
Okay, so we took care of Mr. Giggles and
we took care of the introduction topic of swatting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we've covered that. That was a bad idea. Like, did I understand correctly? Because I only came in very late there, but did I understand that the perpetrator was 25 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Very.
That's a grown fucking man. That's a grown man that could have, literally, he could have picked up a bunch of guns and killed a bunch of cops, and we would have appreciated it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Don't give Mr. Giggles ideas now.
You know what I mean? I don't even appreciate that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I speak to my friend about it the other night, and I was like, just because I don't like the laws, and just because I don't like the law enforcement, and so on, these people still have families, they're still mothers, and they're still fathers, and they're still this and that, they're still human beings, and they still deserve the dignity and respect, yada, yada, yada. I think that's why the United Nations and the Red Cross made rules of engagement and war rules and things like that there against the rules of war, such as shooting down a Red Cross helicopter. That's bad karma. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I try very hard to be extremely militant, extremely organized. And it's funny, because people watch us and they think we are the most disorganized people on the planet.
And they think we're all insane.
Well, that's
one
what's
degree
required.
or aspect.
Yeah, that's what's required. See, you know what's funny, Tin Man? The videos that Curtis makes and the comments that he makes in the chat are purposely made to discredit what he's doing.
Exactly.
You notice the way he's speaking tonight has nothing compared to how he posts.
Oh yeah, I've noticed the
that's what's
differences.
important.
Why do you think my YouTube channel looks the way it does? I look like an intelligent sheeple, so I'm not spotted very easily. I know how to be a wolf in sheeple clothing. I've done it my entire life. Only the bugs and the mushrooms and everything below me know where I'm at. The vultures above can't see me.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? So, but I've always told Tin Man, like, as much fun as we have being foolish, we have to carry ourselves in a very particular way. And you seem to be coming into the round table on a very regular basis, which is fucking awesome. Every time you're on the round table, we need the most intellectual side of yourself presented. Now, that's fucking stupid for me to say, considering was it last night or the night before, I was slapping everybody with my dick. Apparently, I got entirely too drunk to be on the fucking round table.
And apparently my mic was muted at this point in time, and I just remembered what I said. 3 out of 5 children have the chromosomes already active whenever they are born that previous generations were not access to, that they had to actually figure out how to turn on.
That is true.
That's some crazy stuff right there. That's deep stuff. That's indigo and crystal children stuff.
That's exactly what you just asked me to do, was it not, John Connor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not without a basis of truth either. I mean, we see the evidence in today's society
Always
with
love the
children
smell
of a
of
young
alcohol.
age. I mean, Adric, Lucid's son, that kid is 4 years old and he can
Careful.
operate a
Careful.
tablet better than I can operate my damn phone.
Okay, thank you. I was just making sure we weren't going into a negative direction on that one there. That's still his children.
No,
Sorry. I had
absolutely
to
not.
say
You know
something.
me better than that. No, but like,
Yep.
this kid is freaking smart. I mean, he knows technology better than I do. He was playing
Just like
video games
I-
like Sonic the Hedgehog, like the classic Genesis version, when he was 2 and he was whooping ass.
Yeah.
Just like I dropped the video of, I think she says she's a 12-year-old girl, and she's speaking to the UN, and for 5 minutes the UN is stunned by the words that she has said. It's maturity, and it's not age, is all I'm trying to express.
You know it's a script, right?
Yeah.
You know it's a script, right?
It's a script that was written by her group, of course.
No, but you know that dude. She was, okay, I want you to do like 2 inches of research on that little girl.
Okay?
She was the last drop in an already full glass. She was the catalyst required for war. Everything she said, unfortunately, as powerful as it was a lie. It was a false flag. She is a false flag. It's fucked up. I don't like it because I, just like you, thought that it was the most powerful moment the United Nations had ever seen. But she is
But
the
she was a
daughter
pawn of the other side, is what you're saying.
She is the daughter of a Saudi Arabian prince that was fed an American script. Catch what I'm saying?
That's not
So-
an uncommon practice. I mean, how many times have we seen kids used to propagate the war machine and so on and so forth? Even the
In not
local
so
gun
many
control
racist
agendas in the
ways.
United States.
In not so many racist ways, how many times have we seen brown children being used to fucking manipulate the tender heart of the quote-unquote white man? And there's nothing fucking tender about the white man's heart. I'm just trying to put words to illustrate an idea here. Because I'm sorry, dude, but like I'm a race trader, man. I do not like what we have done to cultures around the world. I just
I agree.
don't.
I agree. And I think we
You
just
know,
lost
like-
Grandmaster Revan.
I believe we
Okay.
did. But what I'm basically saying, what I want to personally ask, the words that she is saying, is it not true that the previous generations are the reason why the world is in the state it is today?
Well, yeah, dude, man. Rambo said it.
Yeah.
Old man started, young men fight it, and everybody in the middle died.
I'm just basically, all I'm stating is the words that are said. Because what I'm stating is everything else doesn't matter. I'm listening to the words.
You-
Yeah, but the
Here-
words
here's
were
a-
written by some American scriptwriter, the same kind of people that write the president's speeches. The reason
And
why
now-
you like the words is because the words were carefully and calculatedly chosen.
Yeah, here's an old
Big
saying.
time.
And
I'm
now
going to
I
share something with
also
you guys.
understand.
Curtis, hold on one second. I'm going to
Yes.
share something with you guys that an old high school history teacher of mine once shared with me. Dazzle them with brilliance or baffle them with bullshit. You can
Aye.
use numerous elements of truth in order to push a lie. Just as
Yes.
you can use numerous
Zeitgeist taught us
lies
that too.
to push an idea of truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in how you present it. If you present
You can
your
present a false truth as long as everything other than that one false truth is the truth. So
exactly.
I can convince you of one lie for as long as the 4 stories before that are the truth.
Yep. And vice versa.
It's a psychological weapon.
Uh-huh.
It's fucked, man.
I'd like to pose a single question. So that means that I was one of a kind whenever I was a teenager, and the information that I knew, I was one of a kind more or less. I knew the information, I understood it, I accepted it, and I grew to what I am now. I
You're
was
always
one of a
going to be
kind
one of a
because of the fact that no children would take this fact, that is right in front of their face and accept it.
Well, you got to think, everybody's a unique individual. Nobody is a Tin Man. Nobody is a Grandmaster Revan but Grandmaster Revan. Nobody is a John Connor but John Connor. Nobody is Curtis Wolf but Curtis Wolf. We are all individual and share our own unique identity that is unique to us only. And as of such, some of us are more inept and open to intellectual, spiritual, and physical discovery than other people. This happens, and it happens to varying people at varying times. Some of them, which happen at young ages, whether in preteen or teenage years. Some of them don't even realize it till they're old and on their deathbed. It just depends on the individual.
Pretty
Some
much.
people just never realize it at all.
What we are, and it's not me and the three of you guys, I'm talking about we as a collective society all over the world. Facebook is the best example of it. Does anybody truthfully and honestly know what the word Bible means?
Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
That was a made-up acronym.
Yes, I like that one, but unfortunately, it's not the truth. It's not the true acronym. It's not the true definition. What you presented was an awesome acronym, but what it actually means. Just like Holocaust means burnt offering to a god, what does Bible mean?
You know, I've
Good
honestly
news.
never bothered to look it up. And that's something
No,
I probably should
that's
have looked
gospel.
up, and I'll admit I've never looked it up.
Oh,
Gospel
gospel is good news.
Gospel is the teachings found within the Bible, but the Bible itself, the book, the pages, the chapters, the numbers,
The composition.
the composition of this thing, the Bible, the word means compilation of books. That's what it translates to.
Huh.
Compilation of books. Today, can you think of anything that is a compilation of people's books?
TWBRN
Facebook.
in a video context.
Facebook.
I got a dictionary.
The book according to Grandmaster Revan, the book according to Tin Man, the book according to John, Mark, Luke. Give me your definition. Sorry.
The Christian scripture consists of 66 books of the Old and New Testament.
The sheeple definition. Like whenever you look up rape and you don't find...
The Jewish scripture consists of the Torah or law, the prophets, and the hagiographa or writings, a copy of the Christian Jewish scriptures, noun, Bible.
Can I pause you?
Yeah.
You said something oral, right? Hagiographa?
Yeah.
Is that the new name for the Talmud? Because the Talmud is the oral Torah. That's why I stopped you.
Yeah, it's Hagiographa.
Can you run that, Tin Man? Tell me if it's a synonym to Talmud.
Okay.
He'll spell it out for you again. Now he knows what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Let me. I've got like a shit ton of apps open on my phone. That's why my phone's running slow. Let me look that up. Fuck it. I'm looking it up on my computer.
It's Hag.
Hold the fucking phone.
Hold on. You gotta wait till he's ready for it.
Oh, I was ready for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
were ready for it. I wasn't. I tried to do it on my phone and it didn't work out. Okay.
Okay, it's Hagio.
Hagio.
GRA.
GRA.
PHA.
THA.
Yeah.
The book of the Bible comprising the last of the three major divisions of the Hebrew Scriptures, other than the Law and the Prophets. The book of Hagiographa are Ruth, Psalms, Job, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Lamentations, Daniel, Esther, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Chronicles.
Okay, so it's not what I thought it was.
That's why we look.
Very little, if anybody, talk about the Talmud.
Well, not a lot of
Push it
people
so
even
hard.
know that the Babylonian Talmud is still around. And go ahead and run with that, Connor. I'm gonna go out and take a piss.
I'm on Wikipedia. I'm on Wikipedia.com. It's the Bible from Koine Greek. Biblia, the books, is a collection of sacred texts or scriptures that the Jews and Christians consider to be a product of divine inspiration and a record of the relationships between God and humans.
I think Grandmaster Evan just provided a more in-depth definition, because I did hear the word collection of books, and then I heard Christians and Jews and shit between God and man.
Many different authors contribute to the Bible, which is regarded as a canonical text depending on traditions and groups. A number of Bible canons have evolved with overlapping and diverging contents. The Christian Old Testament overlaps the Hebrew Bible and the Greek Septuagint. Septuagint. The Hebrew Bible is known as the Judaism as the Tanakh. The New Testament is a collection of writings early Christians believed to be mostly Jewish disciples of Christ, written in the first century Koine Greek. These early Christians' Greek writings consist of narratives, letters, and apocryphal writings among Christians denominations. There are some disagreements about the contents of the canon, primarily the Apocrypha.
If you ever find that sweater in my size, send me.
Apocrypha, or Kryphia, or Apocrypha.
Okay, let me try that word, Grandmaster. Give me that word you're trying to spell there.
APO
APO
CRY
APO
CRY
CRY PHA.
Yeah.
I had to get the Wi-Fi signal. I had to get closer to you.
Oh, usually you get it like right here.
Yeah, right here. That's how I was standing right here. I think I lost them.
What you find, brother?
Let me see here. A list of works that are regarded with varying levels of respect, attitudes towards the Bible, also differs among Christian groups. Roman Catholics, Anglicans, Orthodox Christians stress the harmony and importance of the Bible and sacred tradition, while Protestant churches focus on the idea of sola scriptura, or scriptures alone. The concept arose during the Protestant Reformation, and many denominations today support the use of the Bible as the only source of Christian teaching.
Basically, the
That's why
theology
people
that
don't
the
like the
Bible
Mormons.
is the end-all, be-all, and despite the fact that we know that there is numerous other, quote, biblical texts that should have probably been included in the canon, it's still the end-all, be-all magically, even though you're missing a substantial portion of the pie.
Well, exactly. If
Blind
I were to
ignorance.
put in the Doctrine and Covenants, the Book of Mormon, and the Christian Apocrypha, if I were to attach those three fucking immensely huge spiritual texts to the Bible, the world would find itself in a better place.
And you're probably right. I mean, look how the LDS Church lives with just their 4 canons alone.
Hitman, you haven't figured it out yet. The Christian Apocrypha is what the endowment session is teaching.
Yeah.
The Mormons teach it. You just have to be allowed to get into the temple to learn it. Everything taught in the Mormon temple is the Christian Apocrypha.
Yeah,
People don't know that.
Yeah. I know it. I just choose not talk about it, because there are certain things in this world that I believe must be pursued. You know, if you want to know certain elements of knowledge, I will start you on the path, but it is up to the individual as to whether or not they want to complete that journey or not.
Here's
Can I ask you
here's a letter from Sultan Muhammad II to the Pope.
That means that's Christianity and Islam discussing, dude. That's big.
That is big. Go ahead and get into that.
It's let's see here. It's published by Nicholas.
If I have faith in you.
It's published by Nicholas
Sorry.
Jorga, Series 4, 1453 to 1476, Paris, Budapest, 1915 pages, 126 to 127.
Oh wow, that's quite a big letter there. And when did you say it was written?
Ring the Boston. Bring the Boston,
It was
please.
published by Nicholas Jorga, Series 4, 1453 to 1476, Paris, Budapest, 1915 pages, 126 to 127.
That's quite a big story right there. And Genevieve has joined us. Welcome.
Our works usually written for unknown authorship or of doubtful origins. Biblical Agrippa,
nice neck.
Including the Latin Vulgate
Nice
and the Septuagint, not in a Hebrew Bible. While Catholic traditional considers the text to be canonical.
Okay, stop. I just got to fill her in. All right. So Genevieve, you're sitting at a war table. Okay. It may not look like it. A war table. It may not look like it. It may not seem like it. But we are actually getting ready to do some fucking crazy shit. I've just been waiting for you to get on board here. I knew you had to do some stuff first. Now.
Well, I also had to make sure my Wi-Fi was up.
Exactly. So I made sure that we covered all of the issues because you were saying that we were busy tonight. You're darn right we were busy tonight. And so I had to do a personal call with Tim Ann and a personal call with the Grandmaster to put things in order. You are more than welcome to do personal calls with them or talk to them or do what needs to be done. But they know what I'm about to do here. I haven't done it yet because I've been waiting for you because I have to do the whole... I have to ask to speak freely when I do, because I'm about to, you're the 5-star general, and I'm about to scream like I'm a 4-star general here. So are you okay with that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, cool. So topics that have been covered already tonight. Curtis, do you want to fill her in on what we've already discussed tonight? Please.
Wolf.
Are you there? I don't even... Oh, we just lost him. While I try to get him back, Connor, you go ahead and fill her in.
Yeah. So, in essence, Grandmaster, I've been drinking, dude. You're sober, so help me through this one. We covered Mr. Giggles not being child-friendly, like, whatsoever.
Yeah.
At all. Like, we made sure we had Mr. Giggles even explain it to the world. That no, and Genevieve, I didn't mean to overstep, but I went as far as stating that TWWRN is actually disgusted with parents who actually believe that it's okay to let a 5-year-old child watch Mr. Giggles.
I agree.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Welcome back.
Now, Curtis, fill her in, brother. Fill her in. You kept the minutes of the meeting so well today, dude. Now it's your time to shine.
Alright, so basically we introed this with swatting, which was an issue brought up by Grandmaster Reverend about an innocent father who was shot over a $1.50 bet of a Call of Duty game. So basically that's what we introduced into. And I hate whenever my memory goes fuzzy. Oh, then we discussed Mr. Giggle. We plainly discussed Mr. Giggles without attempting to disrespect anybody by basically saying Mr. Giggles is Pennywise the Clown. He is not Bozo the Clown. He was meant to be an adult, perceived by adults. TWWRN is meant for adults. All of that rolled into a good bunch. And I don't remember where we went to on the
but
third
we are
topic.
not Barney the dinosaur.
Exactly. Family oriented, but not Barney the dinosaur. And I believe we started going off on miscellaneous topics after that, and I can't remember how the scattered brain ran around.
At which point I will pick up, well, we were talking about the biblical construct and varying definitions of varying elements of the Bible and varying meanings of particular words and phrases found within not only the Bible, but the Judeo-Christian theological system dating from modern day on back.
And Grandmaster Revan, what did we accidentally fall on while you were doing your research for us? I stopped everybody from talking because I said that's a moment when Christianity and its chosen spoke.
There are different interpretations of the Bible, which is it's a chronically set of texts, including the Latin Vulgate, the Septuagint, the Hebrew Bible, and so on and so forth. The word origin in the medieval Latin, adjective, secret or non-canon, for the Greek adjective, obscure from the verb to hide away.
Okay, so basically, let me try to put that in layman's terms, because even my drunk ass is like, huh? So I'm going to try to wrap my drunk brain around this in layman's terms.
And all I hear is background sound, guys. I apologize.
A chronology of theologies comprised of different points of view based on the same scriptural text.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something. If we're worried about the background noise, let's if we don't have headphones in, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck who it is. All you gotta do is when you're done speaking, just hit the mute button on your shit, and if you do that, it'll save a lot of headaches. So
it also saves your battery.
Yeah, that too. But just
is there anybody
we get it, man. I was drunk and stupid the other night because it was just me and Tin Man having a good time being foolish there. But in all reality, if that is a problem that you're facing, just hit the mute button, okay, guys?
Okay, yeah, I am the only one who cannot hit the mute button on his system because I'm the one who's recording it. So everything I do has to be audio pickup.
Yes, you were saying that the other night. All right, moving right along. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say the shit that I said rudely a little bit more politely.
There's also some related articles too.
Such as, without going into each individual article individually.
Book of the Bible.
Can we get back to the Pope and Muhammad? Can we get back to that letter?
Yeah, let's go ahead and backtrack to that, because we're now just getting into subtext bullshit on articles based on ancient theologies.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for recognized religions discussing shit with each other.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, can we get a basic synopsis on that? Like, could you Google search a letter from the Prophet Muhammad to the Pope and get a basic synopsis of what that letter contained without reading all the text?
He had a letter from the Pope to, and it just happened that the gentleman's name had Muhammad in his name. That's why I brought it up like that. But it wasn't the Prophet Muhammad. My goodness, Prophet Muhammad, dude, Prophet Muhammad walked the earth 500 years after Jesus was dead. Okay, he ain't writing letters to nobody.
Well, that is not necessarily true, because you did have the first two popes prior to the rise of Muhammad and the Muslim belief system.
Oh shit, dude! You might have just brought forward a very wow. Are you, in essence, you're telling? Okay, wait a minute. A lightning bolt just struck my fucking brain.
Because you're talking about a belief the
Yes, I am. Hold
Arabic
on.
belief system that popped up in 500 AD and Roman
And
Catholicism that popped up in
was
300
already
AD.
300 years old. Okay, can you guys tell me how many popes can exist within a 300-year frame?
Depends on
So
each. Depends on how long each pope lived and how old the pope was when he was appointed as the quote general authority.
What's 300 years?
All right. So let's go back.
You're talking about a
300 years. The
200
first
year time
300.
frame between 300
Okay,
AD and 500 AD.
here's an article about Prophet Muhammad of with the monks of Saint. Hold on.
No, I'll take that. That's worth it.
Go
That's
for it.
still,
Run with that. I'm going to Google search something.
yep.
Okay. The Ashtray of Muhammad, also known as the Covenant or Testament of the Islamic Pope Muhammad, is a document which is a charter or writ ratified by the Islamic Prophet Muhammad, granted protection and other privileges to the Christian monks of St. Catherine's Monastery. It is sealed with its imprint representing Muhammad's hand.
You want me to take that off for us? Oh, that. Here, buddy. Sorry, go ahead, Grandmaster. You got it? Okay. All right. The reason why this is important to me, I know it sounds foolish, and like I said, the lightning bolt just struck my brain. That means Christianity and Catholicism existed for 300 years prior to the Muslim rise.
I sent the photo.
You sent a photo. Okay.
I saved it. I'll send it.
Cool. This is where my brain hurts. Okay, guys. We're just gonna get real about this. They killed Jesus for whatever reason, and it was their own. People like to believe that he was this divine guy that walked on water and did all this nonsense. You guys don't understand, man. They locked me in a goddamn box for growing a plant, and I made a point to bring my Bible with me. I read that book a few times, man. Every time you read the book,
Did you get it?
it's still, yeah, I did. I just not looking at it right now. Every time you read that book, you learn something different.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The spirituality, the feel good, the so on and so forth. That comes on the first 1, maybe 2 times that you read it. You know, it comforts the soul. That's what the church sells. But when you start reading it the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th time,
Your answer is 36 popes.
thank you, sir. So there's 36
I've
popes.
actually got a chronology that I can show on the calendar right here, on the screen right now. First of
Hey, man,
all,
you're gonna have to splice. Look, listen. You're gonna have to splice these photos into the video. When this live video is
it's
done,
already there, dude. I can bring it up on the screen in real time right now.
Do
The
it.
Council of Nicaea took place in 325 AD, and prior to that, at which time the presiding pope would be Saint Sylvester, and that's Syl Vester, Vester. He reigned
Saint
from
Sylvester, as in like
314 to
Sylvester
338.
Stallone. Hold on, Sylvester Stallone and Sylvester the cat. Saint Sylvester.
Yes.
Sylvester, Syl Vester.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and prior to that, he was said to be the 33rd pope, succeeding Miltiades, or I'm not even sure how that's pronounced. Miltiades,
Okay.
who only reigned for 3 years.
Pause. Curtis, are you hearing this?
Yes, I'm sitting here with the information in front of me, just as Tin Man is from different sources.
Yeah, no, I believe it, but Tin Man's going to be the document guy. You've got the documents in front of you. I never thought I was going to say this out loud in my life. I need your esoteric brain for a second, okay?
Okay.
Do you realize that within just 2 minutes of discussion of what you guys have been reading out loud to me, okay, this is where my brain goes. Do you understand that if I understand correctly, the last pope being Saint Sylvester, right? He's the one that I'm assuming would have had to confront the Prophet of Islam at the time, right? That's why I asked for the 300-year thing, right? So whatever pope was alive.
No, Sylvester was 314 to 335. If we were to go down to when the Prophet Muhammad would have do we have an exact year as to when the Prophet of Islam came into power, the original Muhammad?
Yes, because I have month and year. I have
Okay,
month and
what
years
month
here.
and year did Islam come into being?
I have popes on month and year.
Okay,
Hold on.
let's
Okay,
look
hold
at
on.
this.
We're so gonna look at this. I'm just gonna finish my thought process
Right.
because I
Go
already know
ahead.
that my theory was wrong. I already know that where my brain is wrong, and I know it's gonna go in a different direction. But I do want to bring this point up because it's the only valid piece left of a failed theory.
Number 51.
Have any of you just realized that Pope Saint Sylvester was the quote unquote 33rd Pope, and I know it's dumb. I've had a few beer. We always talk about Disney subliminal programming and so on and so forth, right? Sylvester the cat. I kind of want to go back and watch every cartoon with that fucking cat in it and observe the behavior that they're trying to represent. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Islam.
the esoteric side of what I'm bringing forward. Now I'm just going to shut up right now because I want to get to the who was the Pope in power when the Prophet Muhammad was at play, and was there or was there not words exchanged between these gentlemen. I'm going to shut up.
November 498, July 514. Does that work for you?
What I have is that despite concerns about the reliability of early sources, most historians believe that Islam originated in Mecca and Medina at the start of the 7th century. And this is on History of Islam on Wikipedia.
We need a fucking Muslim on this goddamn table.
No shit.
We need it.
We're looking to try and solve one of the largest wars in
Islamic
human
origins.
history.
This is what we want. Islamic origins. Islam arose with the context of late antiquity. The second half of the 6th century was a period of political disorder in Arabia, and the communication routes were no longer secure. Religious divisions were an important cause of the crisis. Judaism became a dominant religion and of the Hamite kingdom in Yemen, while Christianity took root in the Persian Gulf, while much of Arabia remained polytheistic. And the line with borders, trends, and ages.
What stayed polytheistic?
Oh, say again?
What areas of that what you just said? You said
much of Arabia remained polytheistic.
So Arabia is polytheistic.
Yeah, and this was in the late 6th century. So roughly the late 1500s.
6th century is 500.
Yes. So in the late 500s, that would be, late 500s and early 600s would be the rise, would be the essential rise of Islam. And going back to our chronological ordeal, so let's just rank this around the beginning of around that time frame, between 509 AD to 604 AD would be Saint Gregory I, the 64th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church.
That would be the latest.
That we say Gregory the First?
Yeah, Saint Gregory I, who succeeded Pelagius II, who succeeded
Whoa.
Benedict I.
Pelagius II promoted celibacy of clergy.
Okay. How many of you watch fucking Star Wars?
Love Star Wars.
I do.
Tell me the name of the originator of the Sith legend that could bring back life.
Plagueis.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Okay,
Who is
I want
alleged
the
to have been
entire.
Palpatine's true teacher, who Palpatine allegedly killed.
I want the
According
entire
to Star
religious
Wars
history between. Guys, you don't understand. These movies, they're made for reasons. They're stories that are told for very specific, foolish nonsense. I
I'd
want the
like to
entire
raise
history
another fact.
between
Plagueis
hold
the
on,
II. Okay.
between Plagueis II and the first. I want to know what both of these popes did in their time.
I
Go
have
ahead.
that answer right here.
Okay, bring it up.
Plagueis the First, 556, 561. Accepted Emperor Justinian's 3 chapters recollection of monotheism, which subsequent popes tried to reverse. Was in Rome when sacked by Talito the God. And then there was 2 popes between that, John III, Benedict I. There's little known about John III, 561, 574. Benedict I, 575, 579. Elected, confirmed by Byzantium Empire? No.
Byzantine.
Okay, pause.
Byzantine Emperor, little known. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Pause. You still with us, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, wow. We're going to have to
Oh,
watch this video. We got to watch this video like 4 fucking times each. We're tapping shit we're not supposed to tap. We're learning stupid nonsense here. This is
Exactly.
You guys are on the John Connor train right now, and I'm so sorry. Okay.
Choo choo, motherfucker! Let's ride this. Let's ride the rails.
Get some more coal.
Exactly. We're gonna do a sidebar here. We got to make sure that the audience understands why any of this information is important. Okay.
One, this shit was not planned.
Yeah. Well, that's why they call us prophets. But whatever. I don't like to be called it, but it is what it is. Let's just play with it at least. It's the internet. But the truth is that this information is absolutely important. It's not about joining a church. It's not about being religious. It's not about taking sacrament, although it is absolutely important for you to feel well within your own body, soul, and spirit. And if if taking sacrament makes you feel good about that, then by all means do that. It's not about that. It's not about believing in any one particular religion. It's purely understanding that they do. So if we don't entertain what they believe, we don't look into what it is, then we will never truthfully, fully understand why they make the decisions they make. And it doesn't matter who I choose to look at there, because the Christians are on the chopping block just as quick. The Muslims are there, the Jews are there, the fucking flying spaghetti monster is there. I really don't personally care. We'll execute them all as long as it saves the planet.
Fuck that spaghetti monster.
Yeah, exactly. I will.
Pass them over here. I'll eat them.
But this war that we're seeing, we're probably the only people on the internet discussing this in such a free way. And as soon as this becomes popular,
we're getting shut down, dude.
No, we're not going to shut down. No, just don't figure it out a way, man. Me and Tin Man, we just haven't told people what we're doing yet.
Exactly.
We're talking registered trademarks. We're talking making sure that if they say anything we've said, that we get a commission for it. We're just an underground band that doesn't have music in the background. That's all we are.
Nice.
That's all. Okay? Record labels, discussions, fucking guys, man. We're talking to people like Howard Stern and stuff. Like, that's the kind of shit that we are. We're just so underground and so little that people can't see us yet. Don't worry. I'm about to fix all of that because I'm sick and tired of it. What we're looking at is appropriate marketing, appropriate leadership, appropriate... That's why everything is changing. That's why everything is shuffling. Dude, without the shuffle, no one's going to fall. And if no one falls, we're not going to pick somebody up. And if we don't pick them up, we're not going to learn anything. You know, like it sounds dumb, but like we get to approach all of this in a very military way.
We
We
do.
get to be good people in a military way. Like, what if you took every resource you had? And what if every order you obeyed? What if everything you did actually helped someone? What if we just flipped the fucking page? Like, we don't have to live like this. They want us to live like that. Of course
Just
they
turn
do.
on the chromosome, man.
Here's a Catholic daughter canonical scripture texts are Tobit, Judith, editions of Esther, Vulgate Esther, 10:4 to 16 dash 24. Wisdom, also called Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach, also called the Ecclesiasticus.
Are you talking about scriptures that are not in the public biblical canon? I think I lost him. He was on to something. They froze him. They cut him out.
It's always how it plays, bro. That's what I mean.
Sure.
Hey, we're down. No, we're down, Curtis.
And we're down Curtis. You know, I'll bring him back real quick. I was going to look up something, but I'll bring
There
him.
he is.
Oh, Curtis is back. Grandmaster is back.
All right.
Genevieve
I
is
didn't
gone.
see
Oh,
the floor
there's
though.
Genevieve. Where's Curtis? Oh, okay, there's Curtis.
Aye.
All right.
Fucker
Connection drop.
hating us
Bring you
hard
back,
tonight,
Grandmaster Robin.
man.
Call implemented. Going to Google.
We got too real, and they killed us again.
Oh,
Fight the
Curtis,
power.
welcome to the front lines, man.
Fight the power, fight the power. Winter
It
born
went
right
down
here,
again.
motherfucker. Winter born.
Well, I do this every day. Nothing in this home has ever changed. I do this all the time. But now we're talking about, like, quote unquote, how to fix the planet, and I can't talk.
What the fuck happened?
I know. Welcome to the. I was just explaining that to my friend here.
Oh, fucking A, dude. What the hell?
Like we got drunk as fuck the other night, and I was being vulgar like nobody's business, and they didn't cut nothing out. And now we're talking like.
My ass got fucking kicked to the fucking curb, man. What the hell?
I know. I honestly thought that, like, you know. Anyway, January 1st, apparently, guys, we're on the front lines at all times, and. Wow.
Oh my god, I can't even begin to count these fucking books.
As soon as I said all you have to do is turn on a chromosome, I got shut down.
Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter right now because I'm not gonna sit there and read off everything that I'm looking up right now, but you are gonna review this video and you are gonna be going, holy shit, Tin Man, what the fuck did you just stumble across?
Well, you know what you need to do with that then. You gotta throw a thumb drive up in your computer. You gotta save that externally, man.
Oh, the video file will be saved externally and the link will be saved externally as well. I just looked up. We have non-canon books referenced in the Bible, but not in the Bible. They were mentioned, but not featured. And I just scrolled down through the entire fucking page, slowly but surely. You can read each and every one of it.
Do you guys understand what I meant when I said I liked Zelda and acquiring all the scrolls and all that nonsense? Are you guys starting to read into my shit yet?
Oh, dude.
Yes, you always explore the entire world map before you even walk into the first dungeon.
Well,
and then you explore everything once you walk out.
And normally you have to find different things. As kids, we just picked up the scrolls and went and destroyed Ganon. We just picked up shit and went and destroyed evil. We never asked ourselves what that shit might have taught us. It's a game. Nobody fucking cares. It's not important. But when you look at it in real life...
just like it's a movie. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but when you look at it in real life, how many scrolls does Zelda have? Something like 6? Okay, how many truthfully and honestly, like, properly, like, we won't be idiots about it there, how many good and recognized religions are on the planet? You got Judaism, you got Islam, you got Christianity, you got agnostic, you got atheism, and you got the flying spaghetti monster. And I think that's
The flying spaghetti man.
Oh my gosh, all the lag. I'm talking all the lag from talking truth. I missed 90% of that.
That's why I post the videos on YouTube. If you need to, you can review it. Oh
It
my
has to be reviewed.
God. Something
said this
stupid as that, you got me cracking up, dude. Fuck. Flying
I
spaghetti
said-
man. What the fuck?
You guys don't understand. I said this was going to be the most serious video I've made. It's only 11:45, and I know I at least have one more beer to put down.
Here's a little bit of the textual history. By the 2nd century BCE, Jewish group began called the Book of the Bible, the Scriptures.
Yeah, bring her back. She got kicked.
Yeah, man, bring her back, dude.
Thank you.
Yes, boss man.
Boobies.
We always have to be. We always have to pay attention to what we're doing here because right now there's only 5 of us. There's only 5 of us in here.
Yeah.
If we
What
had,
the hell? I got kicked. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you're learning.
Because you're being a little too provocative with that candy cane, I think.
I am not.
Leave her and her candy cane alone.
I am just scared of that machine gun that's pointed at my head. That basically sitting there. If you don't talk, I will shoot.
Oh, she knew who you were talking about right there. She's like, yeah, I will blow your fucking head off, motherfucker.
Was
the
divided
moment it
into
suits me.
chapters in the 13th century.
Feed me chocolate or you die.
Hold up. We're suffering from the never-ending interruption here. Okay, Grandmaster Evan.
The Bible was divided into chapters into the 13th century by Stephen Langton, and it was divided into verses in the 16th century by French printer Robert Estienne, and is now usually cited by books, chapters, verses. The division of the Hebrew Bible into verses is based on the Pesach calculation mark used by the 10th century was it the Masoretes? The Masoretes.
Pause. Am I the only one that heard the words Robert, Langdon, and Assange?
Oh, I heard it.
Yes, I was wondering what the names were, but I was more worried about the years that everything was done. That means that the idea was constructed in the 900s for the new millennium to become wrapped around this new concept of how the technical Bible should be heard and understood.
Does it give an exact date as to when the...
Hold on, shut it. Grandmaster Evan, can you tell us where we are chronologically? Like, what year is it right now? You're reading, right? You're telling us...
Yeah.
Where are we historically right now?
We're looking at the 10th century. The record versus division used in earlier oral traditions. The oldest extant copy of the complete Bible is as early as 4th century parchment book preserved in the Vatican Library, and it is known as the Codex Vaticanus. The oldest copy of the Tanakh in Hebrew, Aramaic, dated from the 10th century BCE. The oldest copy is completed in Latin. The Vulgate Bible is the Codex Amaitinus, dated in the 8th century.
That was the one used to translate the Bible into what is now the Dewey Reams and the standard KJV, correct?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that was 14th century, you said?
The 10th century CE.
10th century CE, when it was comprised into Latin?
That would be dating from the 8th century. The 8th century.
The 8th century. But the final composition was
in the 700.
Was in the 10th century, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the final revision before being translated.
It's the oldest copy of the Tanakh in Hebrew and Aramaic dates from the 10th century CE. The oldest copy of the complete Latin Vulgate Bible is the Codex Amiatinus, Amiatinus deity from the 8th century.
Holy
Things
fuck,
you
man.
never knew.
Well, and the thing is there's only one reason to want to know this stuff. Okay? As soon as you realize that this war is not between countries, but it's between religion, you have to re-examine the landscape, the battlefield. We were lied to. We were told that a bunch of ragtag Muslims hit the United States with a couple of planes. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm the most insensitive, non-polite Canadian on the goddamn planet. But if it was about body counts, what was it, 3,000 on 9/11?
Give or
A
take.
little over 3,000 plus.
Yeah, I'll give them 5 just because I'm Canadian. Is it fair to say that we've killed enough to meet the body count?
Not to their standards.
It depends on what the overall. It depends on what the objective for the agenda was, and what the required body count for said agenda was.
Soul to soul, man. I'm just talking 1-to-1, a 1-to-1 ratio. You killed one of ours, we killed one of yours. Is it fair to say, for the last 17 motherfucking years, that we've killed at least, because if we, guys, let us be fair with ourselves. If we, in 17 years, did not kill 3,000 of the enemy, we may want to reconsider going to fucking war.
Well, not only that, you got to tally in the casualties of war itself.
I've
The
already tallied it in.
casualty
I'm being
count today from
sarcastic
9/11 to present day, we may have killed more of the Muslim community than has been killed on our side. We have definitely probably met the quota of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and then some.
Blood for blood.
So to speak. Well, not just blood for blood, but many of those people being innocent bystanders. In fact, probably the vast majority of those people have been innocent bystanders on both sides.
You guys understand that what I'm about to say here is the reason why this video is banned.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to post it, but it's not going to be up for long. You understand this?
Say it, John.
If it doesn't get taken down, I'll be damn right ashamed of myself.
Okay. We have spent the whole night discussing historical, religious, and biblical wars, right?
Aye.
We've made an honest attempt to do the best that we could with whatever information was available to us. I can only thank my team for executing every order that I've asked. But when I said research this, check this, do that, there was no complaint, it was done. I can only thank you for that. Now I have to be John Connor now.
Okay.
I really don't like my fucking job anymore.
Welcome to my nightmare.
There's a religious theology that we already figured out that we dislike, and it's a little bit disgusting, and I always touch on it just a little bit. I try not to because there's one guy that used to use it as a platform every fucking time. So no, I don't like my job that much anymore. But when I have to bring into everything we've discussed today, I have to bring in religious Zionism. Because now I have to inject that aspect into the religious theology and the historical context that we were looking at. Everything has to be examined here.
I did send you a video that I did about two videos back.
No, I agree, but just let me do my thing here.
Yeah, let him run,
So,
dude. Let him run.
Okay.
so what's happening here now is we've seen it before. We've seen where Christ was persecuted by the Romans, but if you actually interpret the scriptures properly, you realize quickly that he wasn't persecuted by the Romans. He was fucking fed to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's important to understand. And there was a particular group of people responsible for it. When you keep going into it, you find out there's the same particular people that have been exiled for 109 countries throughout religious and human history. I can't find anybody, okay? We can hate the white man till we're blue in the face, but the white man has not been exiled from 109 fucking countries throughout human history. Although the white man is a goddamn idiot, it tends to find a way to live in peace with the environment around it. Although the peace is most likely set by the white guy, there is a form of peace. I would like to live in a world where that just wasn't the truth, but that just is the truth right now, and it's all about to fucking change as long as we play our cards correctly. But what I'm saying here is there was a peace that's there. Why could we do it, but why could this other group of people not do it? And that's huge because the internet has worked so hard at white shaming, making us feel bad for the color of our skin, just like we made everybody else feel bad for the color of their skin. So let's not pretend like we didn't fucking deserve this. But they worked so hard to do that. They never compared that, at least where we landed, we were allowed to stay. And I know it sounds ignorant, and I know it sounds racist, and I know it's fucking stupid. But do you have any idea what the white man has done to every fucking culture in the world, and yet we're allowed to stay? Do you understand how far, how legitimately fucking far you have to color outside the line to be exiled by 109 fucking countries? We're talking countries that allow some stupid shit up in their borders. But 109 of those bitches said, no, you're not allowed.
We're not talking about traditional Judaism. We're talking about strictly Zionism. You gotta really fuck up to get banned from 109 countries.
Oh, wow.
And with everything the white man has done, as per what Connor has said, yeah, get them fucked up in comparison.
It's a big fuck up, man. I mean, it's a huge fuck up, big time.
It is a fuck up, and I think we just lost Connor, and I'm gonna bring him back.
Damn it.
It's all right. That's why I am the mediator here, and I make sure shit gets done, man.
I apologize. I'm attempting to look at something and to see validity and trying to see where things fall.
Okay.
I apologize.
Connor, did you catch what I said?
I didn't. All I got was cut.
Okay. Well, what I was saying was, in relation to what you said, kind of paraphrased what you said was that in contrast to what the white man has done, especially just in the United States alone, and the white people of the United States have not been banned in 109 countries. In contrast to that, you have to have really, really fucked up in order to get banned in 109 countries in comparison to the shit, to the blood that's in the white man's hands. I mean, even dating back post-United States, let's just date back to the Crusades alone.
Pre-United States. Pre.
Yeah. To pre-United States. Let's date back to the Crusades. You have the Crusades. Then you have the Inquisition. And the Salem witch hunts. And witch trials that spanned even before then. a lot of blood spilt by the majority of what could be considered white people, most of which in the name of the Judeo-Christian God. But yet the Zionists, who profess to be a part of the same God, minus Jesus, are banned in 109 countries and have only been in existence for less than 150 to 200 years. Big question on everybody's mind.
Do you guys
Why?
understand that this religion is younger than the fucking Mormons?
Yes.
That is a huge, huge thing to take into consideration here. This religious ideological construct came after the prophet Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
Now, I would hesitate to say, because I wouldn't want to be a doomsday alarmist, but the real prophets of the church, even if I'm not mistaken, the current president of the church has indicated that there has been no living prophet that has ever walked the earth since Joseph Smith. It means that they have acknowledged that they are unfortunately just like the Pope. They're
Not called of
merely,
God, but called of man.
not even called of man, they are divinely appointed, but they're not called of God. Called of God means the big man talks to you directly. Divinely appointed means that your heart, your soul, your being, everything is doing the right thing, and it is safe. For instance,
Basically, you have met the qualifications of being the guiding authority of this organization in which the big man is set up.
yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not trying to overstep my bounds, but if I can articulate it, I will articulate it.
I was going to use myself as an example, but I didn't want to do it, and you opened your exact statement with you, and I was like, yep, that's my point. Like I said, I don't believe I'm a prophet, I don't believe I'm this, I don't believe that, no. I believe I am genuinely intelligent enough to interpret some very interesting stuff, and I think we can all have some fun playing with this.
Well, what I meant by you, I meant that as a very
General
loose
sense.
term. I
Very
did not
general
mean
sense.
you in particular, but
Mm-hmm.
you as an individual who could be classified as any given individual of 7 billion people on this shit fuck miserable little dirtball. You know, said individual met the qualifications to be assigned to and do said job.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think our fearless leader has conked out.
Is asleep. Yeah, she's cute.
No, I'm not conked out yet. Not yet.
You look conked out. You look comfy as fuck. I am like, oh, I wish I was where you were right now, just night in my bed.
I have a brand new pillow on my bed and a nice squishy stuffed panda. I'm very, very comfortable.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
Awesome. So, moving right along, what I'm getting at here is that we've come across some very serious information tonight with all these religions, and I never touched any of the negative stuff here. But what if I told you, I think you guys have figured out the better part of it, which means now we can actually go out and teach it properly. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In every country, pick one, doesn't matter. Okay? I'm being serious as fucking nails here, okay? In every country, there is a sociological construct, which means there's people. Okay?
Okay.
Those people They believe something. There's a religious ideology that follows these people. The government of these people is chosen by what's left of the good found within these people. We don't even have to like the leaders of Canada, the United States. We don't have to like Trump. No, but guys, we're safe right now. You know what I mean? Like, let's not lie to each other about the simple things. So maybe they got a big badass smoke screen going on. Maybe they figured out how to lie to the media to make it worth it, and they can do their job now. I don't know, and I really don't fucking care anymore. But what we got to do is stop hating each other. Like, we're in one country, we're in one continent. It's spread around. So what I'm getting at here is that you got people, you got religion, and then you got the person in power, which is elected by the quote-unquote good of those people. And that leader has to make decisions according to the good text of his religion.
Yeah.
If we can understand that, we get to fucking rule the world.
Yep.
But see, now, that was the sidebar. Now I'm getting back into what I'm getting into now.
Uh-oh.
What happens? What happens now when we understand that the war that has been faced before us as of late was sold to us as a farce? It's a fucking lie. We thought that this war was between governments and people.
No.
What happens when we figure out that this war has been religiously orchestrated from the very fucking beginning?
It's basically a war on your beliefs, whereas they want you to believe something else rather than what the real truth actually is.
It's a war of your beliefs, but not in the construct of what you think.
And what did they give us to appease us? Fucking Alex Jones.
I'm still sending him a Mr. Giggles mask. I don't give a fuck.
You understand now where my brain is going. I have to... Guys, I've been at war with this for a very fucking long time.
Say it! Pop on camera and say it!
So we're going to attack everything they fucking love. And when it's done, they will learn to love each other. That's all that's gonna be left.
Tell me what you cherish most. Give me the pleasure of taking it away.
You guys don't have to tell people.
I gotta get going.
All right,
go ahead
Grandmaster.
and bounce out, and we'll finish up. Have a good night, man.
All right, you too, man.
Carry on, Connor.
Fuck, he's smart. He knows what he's doing. Sorry. Like I said, we had a private conversation before we had this. So what I'm getting at here now is that people aren't going to do anything because I said so. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Basically, you, for all intents and purposes, and I'm sorry to cut you off, just to better clarify, you are reiterating something you said before. You are pretty much predicting that what Adolf Hitler said is going to come to pass when he said, when people find out who it was that I was truly fighting, World War III will learn after
what
my
I'm
name.
getting at is far more closer to us. Although you are correct, when we figure it out, when everybody figures it out, it's going to get bad. But I'm going into something far more far more recent.
Far more closer to WWRN than just as a general societal issue.
Exactly. We're amongst the very few. I gotta pocket you for a second, man. We're amongst the very few.
Please don't fart.
No. We're amongst the very few people that kept candlelight going. Now, I don't mean to sound boastful, okay? But when all this started, Anonymous was in charge, were they not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my declaration was simple. I was going to create an underground railroad for those of people who put themselves as anonymous, because in the future there would be some interesting things that were going to happen, and these people, they were going to have to find each other, well, quite damn nearly in a heartbeat. So I created the Larsis Network. Now we're about to turn the key. It's about to do what needs to be done, and it's not because we wanted it to happen. We just waited for it to happen. That's all we did.
It's only there because it needs to be there.
Right, this net neutrality thing that everybody's been talking about. There's pieces of it that some people understand, and it's very fucking, wow, I don't want this to happen. But people, they really don't understand the ramifications that's going to happen. If we are not careful, and if we don't prepare ourselves properly online, it's going to affect us too.
Yep.
Because when this happens, you guys ready for your orders?
Listening.
Yes.
When this happens, the people that used to call themselves anonymous, they're going to call themselves something different. It's going to be scary, it's going to be fucking intimidating, it's not going to be cool. You know what? They might even call themselves us. I don't know. But what's going to happen is that Facebook's going to fall. Twitter's going to fall. YouTube's going to fall. Everything that these people out there love so very much is going to crash right before their eyes. They won't be able to do anything with anything that they're used to using, because we infringed on their net neutrality. So if they can't have it, why should we? We used to protect these websites on the grounds of free speech. We didn't even protect the free internet. The internet was delivered to us freely. We didn't have to fight for it. It was a military application that was freely released to the public. We didn't even know the fucking shit existed, and then one day, there it was. So, it's going to get interesting. Now, I've said it politely about YouTube, Twitter, but I am John Connor. And if you are the resistance, you are hearing this, and you know as well as I do, bank machines, interact, credit cards, everything runs on the internet. All I ask is that if you're going to fuck with us, the civilian population, you better fuck with the economic class. I don't want no money. I just want to see what's going to happen.
Last call.
The 8-year-old's trying to arrest his mother. It's great. But no, man, I don't think this is going to. I don't think this is going to go well. In all honesty, if I were to analyze this properly, we're not going to be responsible for it, but we are going to see it.
I truly believe the internet's going to come just like cable TV, where you have to subscribe and buy certain things in order to get them.
Referring to Internet 2.
Internet 2.0, nice.
No, just Google Internet 2. It's a real thing. They want to limit it to about 305,000 websites.
Wow.
We got to be part of that 3,000.
We'll make it happen, and if they try to shut us down, we'll bypass them.
Well, welcome to Netflix and the Roku contract that Tim Mann was working for us that we couldn't adequately provide because I'm a fucking failure.
Always your backup plan, man. Always the backup plan.
I know. It just sucks, man. More I than we there. Lost a few opportunities along the line.
It happens. it happens, you know. Sometimes people and opportunities fall off the bandwagon due to varying circumstances. It happens. It's called life. We just pick up
I'm
the
not
pieces and
used to
move
it,
forward.
dude. I'm not used to it. I know it's fucked up, dude. I don't want to sound like an egotistical prick, but I legitimately had a guy in fucking Hollywood, and I didn't know how to utilize him properly. You know what I mean?
That's why we legitimately we explore our opportunities. We learn from our mistakes. You know, that's all war and even a Renaissance, regardless of what you choose to call it. You know, it's all a learning experience. Everything we do is a learning experience, and you know that's how wars and revolutions are and Renaissance are won, is because of learning from past mistakes and making the necessary changes in order to rise above and kick some ass. It's the ability to grow and adapt and make sure that what needs to be done gets done.
Real question.
Shoot.
Do you guys honestly think that that you guys can sell the character that I'm creating here? And are you guys ready for the backlash that's going to come from it? Because I'm not going to censor myself. I'm about to go fucking oh man, I don't even want to say it out loud.
Are you going to go beyond Bleach meme?
I'm going to go beyond Bleach meme, dude. I'm going to go beyond the Bleach meme, and that's why it takes so much fucking careful consideration, because could you imagine if the Bleach meme was intelligent and there was nothing you could say to refute it?
Here's the thing. And you know, you may be my commanding officer in retrospect, but I am
Not
willing
right now.
to
I've had too many beers, dude. We're just friends right now.
Yeah, well, regardless of whether you're my commanding officer or just my friend, you know, if there's something that I have experienced in my lifetime that can be shared and learned and benefited from, I will happily share it, whether you're above me or beneath me or on equal par with me. It does not matter in retrospect to me. What needs to be
Right now, dude, we're equal,
what
dude.
needs to be
Right now,
understood
it's just
is
the
that
trenches.
if there is truth that needs to be shared, it needs to be shared. If there is something that needs to be said, even if it is uncomfortable, it needs to be said. Because even if it's a hard
opportunity for
truth
me
and
to
it
talk
hurts.
about the video I want to do.
Say again?
What do you want to do? Let's give her time. She's been sitting there so patiently, and now she's perked up.
Yeah,
yes.
She popped up like a fucking Jen in a box.
Well, that's...
Jen has the box? I already know that.
Don't get me started. I will make jokes like nobody's business. Go ahead, Genevieve.
You said the magic statement, and that was that we got to talk about topics even if they are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I already talked to John Connor about this, but I have a subject that was covered by another, I don't know what to call her, but another person. Her name is Nicole Arbor. She was talking about media and how it chips away at relationships. And
the dumbing down of the value of monogamous relationships, the family unit.
No, she's talking about that video that I sent to the roundtable and said I agree with this idea. Probably.
I must have missed it.
Deeper than that.
I must have missed it.
I'm in my gym clothes today, and I'm going to show you how to work out.
Exactly. It's pretty fucking...
I'm going to have to backtrack because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
It's quite
I can't go to a gym and work out because I can't run on a treadmill, because that even though it's my favorite thing, I can't run on a treadmill. I run out of breath and my chest just, my boobs just hit me in the face. It doesn't work.
I'll take care of that problem for you, Tim.
Damn it, Genevieve, you are lining up so many jokes, and as per my promise to you, I swore I would not go there. You are making it so fucking difficult for me. I will say that much. You are making it difficult for me.
I'm just making
difficulty
jokes, you
scale has
jackass.
definitely increased.
I'm always drunk. Got a problem.
Look. Here's the rules. When she puts you in a position where you're supposed to say, when you're supposed to, not that you want to, but when you really know you're supposed to say something stupid, just watch. Just
say it. Go ahead.
And that's all you do.
That's what I do.
That's all you do.
That's what I do.
It's the better way of doing things.
No, I shared Nicole Arbor's video on my Facebook, so Tim and you could just look through my posts and you'll find it.
I'm taking care of that. I'm taking care of that.
The blonde chick was telling you not to like shit. It's great. It's the great. And at the end, she tells you to like her shit.
It's the bee's knees, bro.
Right?
Yeah, there's always something to be learned.
She does get a little hypocritical.
And definitely somebody relink it to me in email so that I can look it up and watch it tonight.
Yes, I am attempting to do so.
It's definitely worth the watch.
Greatly appreciate it, Curtis.
Yes, it is.
Greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. So, in essence, wow. Fuck, I lost myself now.
The Easter Bunny is a rapist. Let's just say, I'll pick you up where you left off. The Easter Bunny is a rapist.
Well, see, I told you the Easter Bunny was a rapist. You just had to listen, man.
John Conahan, I'm sorry. I had to make some light of the conversation because it was getting a little too serious for me. And to be honest, I was starting to fall asleep. I apologize.
It's okay. It happens.
I got tired.
We all do.
Well, here's the thing, in life, you have to have a little bit of levity. You have to have the ability to laugh every so often, because if you don't and you take life too seriously, you're fucked. It's like the old saying, don't take life too seriously because you'll never get out alive. And like Sarah Connor said at the end of the Sarah Connor Chronicles Season 1, if there are things to be celebrated, you must celebrate them. This is our life. X is our mission. This is our mission, this is our life. You have to be able to differentiate between the two and be able to let both coexist without issue. Because if you let one dominate the other, it destroys you.
You know Terminator's still a fantasy, right?
It is still a fantasy, but let's face facts. There are some real-world applications that can be learned. There are definitely lessons to be learned. Like we discussed before, what if people like James Cameron and so on and so forth were just prophets of the modern-day generation? And what do prophets do? Deliver messages of truth and understanding from the whatever beyond. And if there is truth to be had, it is found within these things. Why do you think they said... Holy shit, I lost everybody. Oh, there they are. Why do you think they said in Season 1 of the Sarah Connor Chronicles when that FBI agent, I forget his name,
Agent Ellison?
Yeah, Ellison, thank you. Met up with Sarah's old doctor. What did he say to Ellison? Yeah, what did he say to Ellison?
I hold the proverbial hand of God.
Well, before that, what if the predictions in the Bible, the revelations of John, and the predictions of Sarah Connor were one and the same?
Yeah.
Is that not providence right there? I mean, think about it. It talks about in the book of Revelations, scorpion-like creatures. Yeah, in Chronicles and in Revelations both, it talks about creatures that were like that would sting the people for X amount of time, but would not wipe out humanity. That could not be killed. Sounds a lot like drone. And you look in modern day technology, it's kind of reminiscent of drones and the technology that we have today.
Because if you technically look at the scriptures and you put it to a modern day aspect, then you realize that what he's talking about could be perceived as helicopters, airplanes, tanks,
or even drones.
The end of the world will be behind. The end of the world will be upon us when the men fly in the air as birds and swim in the ocean as fish.
Yeah.
Planes and submarines.
Yep.
Not that complex.
Mm-hmm.
On the battlefield, we see lions that roar with fire from their mouths. I'd call that a tank.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about the locusts, man, like, dude, I could bust out badass chapters of Revelation that would make you rethink
Yeah.
all of your
Wasn't
shit.
there a biblical chapter that described creatures with breastplates of iron?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds like robotic military to me.
Sounds like a bulletproof vest to me.
Yeah,
Wow.
bulletproof vest or even robots.
That was fucking creepy.
Very, very brilliant. Explored both
A
ends of
bulletproof
the
vest.
dynamic here.
Breast. Okay.
But we are definitely moving towards an artificially intelligent society. This is being integrated not only in our online computer-based world, but in the work industry. You know, factories are converting over to automated systems. Fast food restaurants are moving to automated systems, to automated freaking drink dispensers even.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to freaking operate it like a fucking tablet to
by the way,
specify the kind of drink
guys,
you want.
That's another thing, eh? Forget all of the other stuff, but we're going to try and find a way. I don't know how. I don't even know how I'm going to start this project. I have no idea. This is like in the deepest seated part of my brain. I haven't even talked to anybody about it yet. I'm talking to you.
You brought it up, so out with it, my brother.
Somebody's going to hear it, and hopefully they can help. You guys been to McDonald's lately?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the kiosks?
Mm-hmm.
Seen them millions of times, man, especially in California. They're all over the place. I first saw them at Jack in the Box, but now they're picked up by McDonald's and most other food conglomerates in California. Yes.
That's what I'm asking. How many other chains are using that shit?
Yeah, I first saw it at a Jack in the Box when I was still living in California, when I was still doing the solar deal. But I've also seen them picked up by McDonald's. I believe Carl's Jr. may have picked up on it. You know, Carl's Jr. Hardee's Corporation. Wendy's, I think, has picked up on it in a few areas. And
so just like banking stations and shit like that, there, all of these machines, they all belong to the same company. They're just being sold to different fast food restaurants.
Yeah,
just like buying the fryer system.
The only places I have not seen it,
a light bulb.
Yeah, the only places I have not seen it is companies owned by Tricon, i.e., Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Long John Silver's, etc. I have not seen the kiosks in anything owned by Tricon.
Well, maybe we should really start promoting Tricon businesses because they seem to be protecting the human element in the employment force.
Yeah, that
but,
and
what I'm looking to do,
In-N-Out Burger.
What I'm looking to do is to attack that company. I don't want any of those ordering machines to work anymore, guys. Those ordering machines are taking away the jobs from our counter girls, our waitresses, our waiters, it doesn't matter. Male, female, I don't give a fuck at that point.
So automated checkout systems and kiosk machines at fast food and retail need to be shut down.
I need a line of code that's going to shut it down. It's not hard to find a 14, 15-year-old that wants to prove himself. And he's going to download it, he's going to put it on the thumb drive, he's going to walk in, he's going to put that in the machine, and it's just not going to work anymore. He's not going to be able to do anything if he doesn't have the line of code required.
Well, it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond punching in your items and putting in your money. You actually have the option of just scanning your items there in the store and walking the fuck out. Like I can go into, I can literally hop on my fucking bike. If we're lucky,
they're all owned by the same people, which means the coding system will affect everything.
Yeah, it's.
We just got to get into it.
It's called scanning though. I mean, you have the self checkout systems that are being integrated in companies like Walmart and even in the fast food community. This is literally, you can fucking scan this shit on your fucking phone.
I don't want the application. I don't want the application. I need the hard drive, the hardware. Scan and go is just what the computers use to communicate with each other. You scan it, it reads it, it pays, whatever.
Yeah.
When you scan
We
it,
need the motherboard of one of them automatic kiosks and analyze it and figure out the codes in it and figure out the opposite code in order to figure out how to break it.
you understand what kind of crimes are required to pull that off, Curtis?
About 5 that actually know what they're doing.
You want to lead that project for me?
Right now, I think you can.
Well, technically, I know how to look at code, and I know if a code is fucked up. I don't know how to write code.
He doesn't,
He doesn't
understand the language of binary.
If you know how to break into the code, we'll find somebody that knows how to write a code that needs to be compromised.
You need somebody who not only understands basic HTML coding, but you need somebody who can read and understand
binary.
and write binary.
That's caveman shit, dude. You're hitting stones while I'm flicking a lighter here. We need people that understand quantum computing. We need the kids, man. That's the thing.
First and foremost, we need to buy a kiosk and break into the motherboard of it and figure out how the coding works in order for us to see if there is a way to break the code, which there probably is anyway.
Oh, there is.
The best way to do
you don't even need to do that. You would just need to be able to tap into their mainframe to see how it works. You don't need the hardware. You just need access to the software.
No, we need access to the hardware.
That's what I'm saying.
We need to know how the hardware works because when we put a soldier on the front line and he puts a thumb drive up in that shit, it's got to work, like no questions asked.
Oh, yeah.
Shut down. What I want to do is I want to put one thumb drive in one machine and I want to shut down the entire fucking business.
Yeah, I mean, that can be done, but more often than not, that's all linked to their network, which can be accessed remotely. If you can access it remotely, great. If you have to access it manually, it makes things a little more difficult, but it's still doable. And here we are talking about criminal activity online, and you know what? I don't give a shit anymore.
This is true, because this is the resistance.
And I'm not the one going to be committing the crime. I'm just throwing out the fucking idea. If somebody wants to take the ball and fucking run with it, go with it.
That was always the plan, man.
Fucking prove it was me, motherfucker. I guarantee you can't, because I ain't got the brain capacity enough to fucking pull that shit off. I don't even know basic HTML, let alone binary or anything beyond that. So suck my dick backwards and buy me a milkshake.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah, but basically.
Okay, and you guys keep talking. I'm going to start pissing.
So basically, yeah, you
Go
first, John.
Thank
you,
you,
John.
All right, so all I'm trying to put together here is the ability to show them you can't do that. Because literally, that little kiosk that's taking your orders is the fucking machine that took Willy Wonka's dad's job away from him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the price of education chooses to go up all of a sudden, and we can't even give our kids jobs. Nah, man, come on. It can't be that bad.
It's like they're just trying to cater to the rich. It seems like they're trying to get, like how back in the 17 and 1800s, it seems like what they're trying to do is do exactly what they did back then, where only the rich or the nobles, so to speak, will have an education, and the lower people who can't afford that, like my son, will end up being one of their servants. And they're going to make it seem like they're doing us a favor by giving one of us a job.
Yeah. And that job will never be enough to put the kid through college.
Exactly. It'll never pay enough. It'll pay just enough to feed you and your family, or you feed one person, maybe two, but other than that, it's not going to be enough for anything else. And then the rich are going to say, oh, well, I'm going to be charitable right here, and I'm going to let you stay in our spare room.
Yep.
But I'm going to cut your pay.
Yep, and you've seen the reality that is the illusion of charity, which is, in retrospect, slavery. I'm going to give you a job, let you think that I am doing you a favor, when in retrospect, I am simply enslaving you for my own personal benefit while you slave away for the rest of your life and accumulate more and more debt to make me rich.
Mm-hmm.
While they are eating freaking liver pate, we're chewing on the innards of an animal.
Well, that's quite legitimately the problem. That's why I get really upset about some stupid shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The deck is definitely stacked against the middle and lower class, and it's really sad and it's really fucked up.
It's not stacked against the middle and lower class, it's stacked against the middle class. They
Oh.
need the lower and the upper class. This entire bullshit is designed to make the middle class disappear. The middle class is quite legitimately the middle ground. It's the people that have a little bit of money, and they make sure that we're okay.
Yeah, well,
But the upper...
Well, here's the thing. The lower class can't make the purchases. The upper class has all the money to do whatever. They're not the ones really contributing to the economy. It's primarily the middle class. If you erase the middle class, where does your profit margin come from?
Welcome back. Oh, fucking great. Sorry.
Like, where does your middle class come into perspective?
Those are your
I
sponsors.
don't know.
Now, if the middle class is eliminated as a factor, you eliminate your profit margin. At least the vast majority of your profit margin. So the value of who you are and what you're worth and your assets diminishes substantially. You could have all the gold and the silver and the diamonds in the fucking world, but if you ain't got nobody able to buy it, it ain't worth dick.
Mic check 1, 2.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, thank you.
Cold.
So Connor, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm always good.
Okay, I was attempting to try to ask a question. If we relate the war to a football game, are the referees on the field waiting to flip the coin? Or is the kicker waiting to receive the signal from the referee to kick the ball? Where are we in the standpoint of the war? Where technically are we?
Oh my god, I can't believe I did
That's a good question. And it depends on who you ask.
That's how come I asked Sir Connor.
There's a cold over there, honey?
Yes,
Alright, Sir Connor, in your perspective,
it's open air above and below the balcony. It's open air above both of it. So I got a pocket of cold air here, a pocket of cold air here, and they're both conflicting.
It is cold.
But I'm not outside.
Oh, believe me, I know. I know.
Well,
I'm in an apartment where I can
where are we?
I was personally asking Connor's perspective of what he thought where we was technically at war.
Yeah, where we are in the game. That's a huge one, man. Hold on, give me a second. Keep talking.
Because I was just basically wondering whether or not if it was time to start playing the football game, or are we still sitting here on the sidelines waiting to jump the field haywire, so to speak? Because I'm not sure, because I see a lot of events happening, and I'm like, well, where is the coin toss? Okay, if the coin toss already happened, when is the football going to be at hang time? I'm waiting for some kind of sign to know that it's time to go out there, in there, and fight the war directly, instead of sit back and sit here and wait and sit here and tactically pluck away. I want to get out there on the front lines and fight.
I think what it is we started the game, and the game was already started. And I'm sorry, Connor. Did I cut you off, dude? I'm so fucking drunk I didn't even hear you talking. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I'm just gonna take a bite of my pizza and I'll keep going.
Okay. Basically, my synopsis of the situation: the game has already started. The opposing team has already kicked off the ball, and have already scored a few touchdowns. And we are in a state of timeout trying to figure out what our play is going to be based on the way they're playing their game.
Yep. So
Okay,
that's very
so
much
is it
the
our
truth.
timeout or their timeout?
Stay.
Mhm.
It
Who
is
called
our
I said
timeout?
stay, phone.
So I'll tell you what happened. You guys ready?
Go
On
for it.
9/11, a game was declared. Just come over to my place so we can play some FIFA. There was a game that was declared on 9/11. A couple towers fell, everything was fine. Now that happened. That's history now. That's a thing that happened now. We can't unlearn it. We can't unlive it. It happened. That was the invitation. You guys are asking when the coin toss happened. Coin toss happened in 2011 when Anonymous went and took 1,000+ cities in over 800 countries. That was pretty fucking epic. That was the coin toss. We found ourselves on the latter side of the coin toss. We found ourselves on the side of the people that, honestly, they just don't care about us. It's a harsh reality, guys. We're not on the winning team.
They rather condemn us than listen to us.
Exactly. Takes a long time to wrap your head around just that one piece.
Yeah, and I can't even honestly say what quarter we're in.
So the quarters haven't started yet. That's the fun part.
Okay, so we're still at the beginning of the game.
Very much so. Internet neutrality. That is the kickoff. Internet neutrality is going to be the kickoff.
Okay, so see me on the battlefield running towards it at airtime, bro, because I'm ready.
All right, well, you kick out your videos. And I'll get them edited and posted.
There's going to be a lot of things that happen. There will be a lot of things that happen. Already been a lot of things that have happened. But that internet neutrality stuff, I think that's the Duke, man. I think that's the assassination that we're waiting for.
Yeah, that's definitely the kill switch for us. Like, okay, these guys we've let them have their fun now. Let's flip the switch off and shut them off indefinitely.
Yep.
Take it off.
Okay, you set him up, so he knocked it down.
Boy, did she set him up. I'm sorry, Genevieve. You have no eyes. I see your nose on down, okay? And you unzipped your jacket. The door was open. I had to kick it down. There you go. Much better.
There.
Much better. I'm sorry, but you opened the door. I had to kick it down and go, here I am!
Sorry.
It's all good. And like I said, if we can't laugh through life, what's the fucking point of living?
Very true, very true.
Let's have fun. Let's make jokes about each other. She'll make jokes at me. I'll make jokes at everybody. Everybody will make jokes at me and everywhere in between, and it's going to happen. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
I have waited for hang time to begin for so long. I have thirsted for blood on the battlefield.
Okay, Vlad the Impaler.
I need you guys to buy generators.
I have one.
Okay.
Hey, are you talking about gas-powered generators, or are you talking about freaking battery generators?
I'm talking about whatever your budget can afford, but you have to make sure that you have a generator in your home.
Mine has only been run for 27 hours. I have one in good working condition.
I can put one in our storage if we put our shelves up.
There's a reason why I'm saying this.
Yes, an EMP is very dramatic to everything.
It's not going to be an EMP. Nobody wants to do that.
How much are generators?
But I'm going to tell you how it's going to happen, though.
How much are generators?
Between two and
Depends on what kind of generator.
I know we don't like the guy, but Alex Jones sells them for like $1,800 and $2,100. Solar powered generators.
Yeah, you're talking about the solar battery.
Mm-hmm.
He
If you
calls
want
it
a
something
fridge and a
else,
stove
but
and a cooler.
we know what you're talking about.
All right. Anyway, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, though. Okay. Curtis brought it up. He brought the extreme to the table, which is fair. EMPs. Guys, it's real life, man. Nobody wants to do that. But nobody has a problem doing a little thing to make it look like a big thing. Okay? So, I'm calling it. This is how it's going to happen. You ready?
Shoot.
If it happens like this, I'm going to laugh a little bit. So, there's this big problem in the Middle East. Canada took in a bunch of refugees. A lot of numbers. A lot of them. And what's going to happen here, probably, most likely, only makes sense really, because Americans don't really know what's happening. But did you guys know that a very strong percentage, I'm not going to make up a number because I just don't want to be wrong here, but if you look into it, you'll find out what I'm talking about. A very strong percentage of the power, the very fact that Americans' lights turn on right now, is because of the hydro dams found in Canada. I'll say 60 to 70%. I think that the number is bigger than that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I want to say
Even
like
if it was
68%.
Even if it was smaller, let's say it was just 20%, it doesn't matter. That's 20% of the American population that just don't have power anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this war is going to get foolish there quick. So what I think is going to happen here is I think that refugees in Canada are going to do something stupid to the power grid, but it's not going to affect Canada, because if you actually truthfully, honestly affected Canada, you wouldn't have a place to sleep properly. But if you only affected the power grids that hurt the United States, nobody would truthfully and honestly care. Your country's been at war for too long, and your president's Donald Trump. Why do we give a fuck? Let's be honest about it. That's the mainstream narrative. That's what's being pushed right now.
Never really thought of it in that context, but that's fucking brilliant.
So no, but wait. What if the Russians could call it a tactical EMP? So your power doesn't work because the Russians did it, not the Canadians, not the Muslims that live here. The religious connotations of the war would be very, very easily hidden.
You're talking
Yeah, they'll
about
blame it on the Hades understanding of
basic.
Russia.
You're talking about the basic story arc of The Dark Knight Returns Part 2.
No, dude, I'm talking about what might happen in about fucking 2.5 years from now.
I know, but that
I'm
was
serious.
based in what you just described was the basic story arc of The Dark Knight Returns, not The Dark Knight Rises.
I know.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Returns, where the Russia and the United States had a conflict in cultural motifs, and the Russians fired off a nuke. Superman pushed it off in the air. It detonated and basically acted as an EMP and knocked out the entire, or at least the vast majority of the United States.
Pretty much. But what if I could do that without using a nuclear device, dude? What if I could turn off the lights in the United States? What if it was a multiple-pronged attack? What if a Canadian turned off your light switch, but they really weren't a Canadian? But somebody else decided to take the blame for it. What if Russia said they turned off the light switch? Do you understand what I'm getting at here? The political landscape has been designed in a way that Russia could claim responsibility for using a weapon of mass destruction in the upper atmosphere that turned off the electricity by merely asking a few Muslims to sabotage a couple of electrical power grids.
And it'll be presented as something else than what actually happened.
Thank you, Curtis. As long as the lights go out, who gives a fuck who hit the switch and how it was done? You guys have to be careful. The false flag, the lies that would be available. That action, if I was a terrorist, I'd go do the action myself just to prove a point. Because that is exactly how small the action is. That small action given to CNN could be manipulated into Russia dislodged a nuclear weapon in the upper atmosphere, which killed 20% of the Americans' power grid. But the rest of the world wouldn't understand that if Canada just had a bad snowstorm one day, and that power grid just happened to not work, 20% of your guys' country just doesn't work anymore. And that's what allies do. Allies also sacrifice within themselves to create the required narrative for brainwashing war tactics.
Yeah, they all work, the higher powers all work together to play their little chess game.
It's not a
We're
little
like-
chess game anymore,
we're
man.
like-
It's billions of lives on the chopping block.
We're like kids in an adult household where we don't know how the bills work or anything like that. We're not told, and even if we're around and notice that it's going on, we're told to leave them alone because it's a very stressful time to actually do your stuff because we just don't know what's going on in the upper levels of everything, how everything is distributed, unless we actually look into it and find what they have actually allowed us to have.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is, we do. That's what the Worldwide Resistance Network is.
Yeah.
We know all of that shit. What we need to do is provide. We don't need to take. We don't need to hurt. We need to provide. For as long as shit, man. For as long as the kids can always have a dream, for as long as the kids can move forward, as long as the adults around the kids can help them do that, as long as we provide, we win.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. My outlook on life is completely different. 5 years ago, I wanted to burn it all to the ground, man. Now I wanna invest in the children to make it better. It's different. But yeah, anyway, I gotta go for a smoke.
Well, I think that's
Where are
about
we
a good
here?
place to end it myself. You know, I mean, we've been going for nearly 3 hours. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. And Connor, I think maybe on this subject alone, you could definitely expound on this yourself. What do you think, man?
Well, all I know is that I'm going to war, and I'm bringing my crew with me, and they should have expected us, man. The amount of talent, intelligence that we have available to our disposal, there's no reason why we're not making a stink right now.
Yeah.
So we just got to put it together. But it's like I said, I need 5 pieces of graphic art. We have enough video content to put together. I'm gonna work on the website. Tin Man, he's gonna work on a fucking documentary, and we're just gonna keep doing these roundtables, and that's just gonna continue to give content. And this content is the most valuable aspect in the world, man. Like, when we review this video, it's gonna piss me off because like tomorrow I gotta watch 3 hours of this shit just to review what was said tonight. Because I know there's pieces of it that are more precious than gold.
Yep.
Yes.
Especially
So,
what I've been able to bring up on camera that you guys weren't able to see directly.
Exactly. So we're gonna keep moving this. We just keep moving it forward. There's nothing more that we can do. If we try to do more, then we're always gonna lose.
Forward the path, but love must be the direction.
Mm-hmm. So this is John Connor. Welcome to the war. If you guys are hearing this, you are the resistance. Connor and the resistance is out.